Hello everybody and welcome to the 6th event of the 3rd season of the Marble Invites, the Relay Race. I'm Pesky Bird, and I'm joined in the commentary box for this event by Dolphin.
Hello, thank you very much, Pesky. It's brilliant to be back here at the Marble Invites, and for one of my favourite events too. The relay, speed, but also teamwork are essential. One mistake in this event, and your entire team suffers. Of course, it's been a bit of an interesting start to this season, of course, with how divided this pack is. Time Watchers completely flying away, practically unbeatable already. I mean, their gap already over a gold medal difference ahead. Everyone else super tightly packed together, so if anyone wants to make a run, now is the time to get consistent. We're approaching the halfway mark of the season.
See, this event is a bit different format to what we saw in the first season of Marble Invites. It's 2 lanes instead of 4, so it'll be a large bracket event here, as we see the 2 test teams, the Berry Blasters and the Foresters here. It's the Foresters slow in the first leg, slow in that second handoff. Berry Blasters have a huge lead here, and they're going to close out and win.
That's going to be the kind of thing we're going to be saying. You've got to make sure every single leg is going to be perfect. Pretty quick time there, all ones there for the Berry Blasters. I think, yeah, of course, every single second counts. See, our first seed then, the Pixies and Electric Energy. The Pixies never run this event, whereas Electric Energy, they can go in second in their attempt in the PMA Season 1. And so good start for the Pixies then. And going to hold it. But Electric Energy, not too far behind, but slow around that corner. Terrible run for the Electric Energy. And the Pixies don't need to worry at all. They will comfortably take that win there.
Very much difficulties there for the Electric Energy. Like, for the entire course. We've seen marbles like theirs before. Their type of marbles really difficult on the skyrail tracks, and it showed with the Electric Energy here not being able to get good runs here, and the Pixies just cruise to an easy victory with a sub 11 second time. That should be a good mark for the rest of the event to catch up to. Now we see the Pastry Party and the Laser Eyes, 2 teams in the bottom half of the standings. How will they do here?
It's going to be good start for the Pastry Party. Flying out the gate there. Laser Eyes dropping farther and farther back. A terrible run there for the Pastry Party. They've completely thrown that away in the third leg. And Laser Eyes, they need to do anything here as long as they keep clean, which they do, and they will hold on comfortably. They will take the advancement here. What happened to the Pastry Party though?
Tale of 2 halves here. The Pastry Party clearing away there, and then just a really bad handoff there. That third marble had no momentum. The Laser Eyes just cruised on to an easy victory after that. Teamwork especially important here, and even just one handoff mishap can cost you an entire run.
13.04 seconds as well. That's not what you want to see from anyone. Golden Cheeses and King Crabs. Golden Cheeses successful in the relay in the Quadrilla Marble League, silver medal in Season 4. King Crabs less so experienced, but they're very tight off the guard there. It's going to be a tied one. And now the King Crabs, Golden Cheese make a similar mistake to the Pastry Party, and it's all falling apart for their run here. King Crabs to be through.
Both marbles running away after that. Their good start kind of faded away there. And Golden Cheeses, that third handoff there, just not going well for them. And the King Crabs just kind of cruised to an easy win after that. The gap came down a little bit there, but the King Crabs, with a nice time of 11:26, will easily move on here. As you see the Grayscales and the Time Watchers, 2 teams in the top half of the standings, including the championship leaders who have a dominant season so far. Can the Grayscales do anything about it? They get a better start here with Time Watchers in the second leg. They're ahead, neck and neck right now. Time Watchers still barely ahead. Can the Grayscales close up at the end? Yes, they can, and they'll take the win.
That was a clutch moment right when they needed it. And Time Watch's spell of dominance will be broken somewhat here. I reckon there can't be that bad a time. They're both running really closely the whole race. Now, the final burst of energy by the final Grayscales marble there. Brilliant handoff, exactly what you need to do in the relay. It's all in the handoffs, as we've seen so far, and the Grayscales perfecting their craft here.
It'll be the first not top 4 finish for the Time Watchers this season. It'll be a bottom half finish, so it'll allow some of the other teams to catch up. These 2 teams, though, the Green Dragons and Scorpiers, way behind already. So they sit in the bottom half of the standings. Green Dragons, though, a good lead here. Here come the Scorperiors, and they're gonna cruise up ahead, and the Green Dragons have no answer for them.
Scorperiors there. They didn't leave it quite as late as the Grayscales did, but they also had a big jump there in that third leg. Great handoff. You can see the momentum there for the Scorperiors. Exactly what you need to do. Team have been quite well known for their teamwork in the past, and they're continuing their run. I mean, this really will be a crucial result for them, having their really poor start of the season. 10:88 as well. That's a quick time for the Scorperiors.
11:60 for the Green Dragons. Still a fast time so far, so I think that might get them 9th place. But here, John Jolts and the Poseidons. Poseidons, top half of the standings. John Jolts sitting in last. And right now the Poseidons way ahead here. Can the John Jolts catch up here? It's not looking like it. Poseidons have a big lead. It comes down a little bit, but they'll cruise to an easy win.
Yeah, really, the Poseidons, they were only slightly ahead in the first leg, but from the second leg onwards, really, it was just taking it completely in their stride. No stress, no mistakes. That's absolutely what you need to do. When you've got the lead, you need to start ignoring the other competition. And John Jolts, they've been struggling this season already, and Poseidons, I think that maybe they know that. Just taking advantage, taking everything calm. But both decent times as well. So it shows there the performance of both teams. The Whitecaps and the Blue Moons then have a blue heat. And Whitecaps, of course, they've been successful in this event. With the Whitecaps, they are relatively even off the game, but it will be the Whitecaps in the lead. They're going to hold it. Now the Blue Moons close the gap a little bit around that third corner, but not quite going to close enough. And the Whitecaps in the final leg fly away. Blue Moons. Terrible final handoff there. Gold medalist last event will not be advancing to the top half in this one.
Yeah, it was kind of a touch and go race there for the Whitecaps. They had the lead the entire time, but at points it did come down. But at the end, they kind of cruised away with it. Very good gap there at the end. The Blood Moons kind of just gave up in that final handoff. 10:97 is a great time, while 12:20 is not a great time for the Blue Moons.
Yeah, it all fell apart on that one handoff. Starlights and Abstract Aquatics. Starlights running well in the standings. Abstract Aquatics, of course, are defending champions. The Starlights are a bigger threat in the championship, and they've got decent success in the skyrail. A brilliant second handoff there. With a great lead so far, and surely they're going to hold it. Unless everything goes wrong, and they will not. Comfortable win there for the Aquatic. Not the Aquatic, the Starlights, sorry.
I think that was a sub 10-second run for the host team, the Starlights, showing their dominance on the skyrail here, leaving the defending champions in the dust. A full length lead at the end there, and they're gonna cruise to a win here, and it is sub 10 seconds for the Starlights. They're gonna be the team to watch out for going farther in this event.
That is impressive there. Definitely team to watch. Abstract Aquatics, they've got their 9th place as well, showing you just how quick that run was for the Starlights. Pastry Party last place by quite a comfortable margin there, not a big surprise. Only 13th for our championship leaders. Maybe an opportunity for some other teams to close the gap a little bit.
Here we go with 2 cat-eye teams, the Laser Eyes and the Pixies. Here, let's see what they can do after their wins in the first heats here. Pixies have a slight lead here. Here come the Laser Eyes in the bottom lane. The Pixies stall out, and the Laser Eyes are going to cruise to an easy victory here. Pixies had the lead and lost it in the third handoff again.
The third leg has been a real deal breaker for quite a lot of these teams. The Pixies are no exception. The Laser Eyes gouging away at their lead there. Brilliant third handoff while the Pixies struggled. Not a dominant win per se, but clearly a controlled one, managed by the Laser Eyes.
11:28 for them, a decent time, 12 seconds flat for the Pixies. Now, King Crabs and the Grayscales here. 2 pretty dominant champions in their competitions, one more recent than the other here, and they're neck and neck out of the gate. King Crabs with a little bit of a lead. Here come the Grayscales, though. It's still neck and neck. Grayscales with a little bit of a lead here. King Crabs at the end, and it's going to be the Grayscales who edge it out.
Closest run we've had so far by a considerable margin, I would say, in fact. All the whole way down, couldn't hardly separate the two. King Crabs in the first leg, King Crabs in the second leg. It was that third leg, really, that did seal it for the Grayscales. Only just. That final handoff for Crabs were maybe slightly better. The last little stretch out of the Grayscales just about managed to recover some of their momentum and hold off, both in sub 10-second runs as well. Really strong for both teams.
Scorperiors and Poseidons here. See what these two teams can do. Scorperiors sitting in 15th in the standings. They're going to need a great result here, and right now they're in the lead. Poseidons trying to come back. It's neck and neck in the third handoff. Scorperiors just a little bit of a lead here, and they're going to stretch it in the anchor lane. And they're going to advance to the top 4.
That is how you finish off a run there for the Scorperiors. Poseidons, well, looking like a bit of a threat there. It's the third handoff, as we've often seen, is crucial. But I mean, it's the cleanness of that final handoff for the Scorperiors, compared to the struggles for Poseidons, completely changes the dynamics of that race. And it will be the team struggling in 15th standings who will be advancing into the semi-finals. Really crucial result for them. The Whitecaps and Starlights now, two teams that look really strong in their first heat, especially the Starlights, of course, with their sub 10-second run. The Whitecaps, if anyone could beat them, you would think of the Whitecaps potentially. It's a good start for the Starlights again, but the Whitecaps are a bit closer. Another third leg, the Starlights have made a big mistake there. The Whitecaps have flown away, and they've always slowed down the final heat, but I think they were managed, they were monitoring it, and the Starlights just didn't have enough time to close their gap enough. Look at this third leg. The Whitecaps, it wasn't exceptional last for the Whitecaps, but the Starlights completely lose all momentum there.
Would you call it an upset? Or just the team favored making a crucial mistake there? Still a sub 12-second time, but not a good fast time for the Starlights. The Whitecaps will be moving on to the top 4. You see, 5th through 8th here. The King Crabs will sneak out 5th place. Starlights disappointed with a 6th place. Poseidons and the Pixies running out the top 5th through 8th. Now, Laser Eyes and the Grayscales. One of these teams I would definitely say is favored over the other here. But, as you've seen through this event, anything can happen. And a poor start for the Grayscales is going to have them on the back foot. Laser Eyes trip up in the second leg, and they're going to trip up even further in the third. Grayscales way out ahead, and they're going to easily advance.
No questions there. Laser Eyes, they've looked really controlled, really stable so far, but coming up against the Grayscales, who've looked just really quick, I think it all just fell apart. The second leg wasn't great for the Laser Eyes, but that third leg, that second turn there, just fell apart for the Laser Eyes. A real shame, because they've been quite a fun team to watch so far, but the Grayscales, they've looked dangerous. I would say maybe they're the favourites. I don't know, we've got the Whitecaps as well, also been looking really quick. I'm seeing them up here then, against the Scorperiors. It's going to be an interesting battle between these two. Scorperiors, they've shown some clutch performances so far, and it's a much better start for the Scorperiors. Trouble on the gate for the Whitecaps. And I think the Scorperiors, the Whitecaps are going to close up, and they're going to retake the lead. Here comes the battle, and the final leg, again will solve it for the Scorperiors. That final handoff for the team is so well oiled, just about saved them.
There's a back and forth race. The Whitecaps had a terrible start. Scorperiors had the lead, and then they lost in that third anchor leg, but the anchor had it in control there. The Whitecaps could not capitalize on the mid-race struggles, and they will not advance. They will go to the third place match, which is happening right now. Laser Eyes and the Whitecaps for the bronze. Whitecaps defeated the Starlights, but now are having to settle maybe for bronze, maybe for 4th here, as they're on the back foot with the Laser Eyes. With the Laser Eyes, slow through that second into the third. It's neck and neck. Who's going to get on the anchor leg? Laser Eyes just hold on at the anchor, and they will claim the bronze. Whitecaps disappointed to only get 4th.
After beating the Starlights, who obliterated everyone else in the heats, you would have thought maybe the Whitecaps coming in potentially as favourites, but clearly not. They just couldn't quite drink it together where they counted. It was a close race though. The Laser Eyes back to being composed again, exactly what you need to do, and there's just a slightly better final leg, not by a massive margin, just the handoff a little bit cleaner, a little bit smoother, and it'll get them a bronze medal. Crucial result for them then. But now, with the bronze medal sorted, we only have 2 positions left to give out, and it's the 2 most important. The Grayscales and the Scorperiors. Grayscales have shown consistent speed throughout, but the Scorperiors being brilliant on those final legs. And the final leg will be what decides this event. And they're away. Scorperiors, a brilliant start. Grayscale's going to get close to the second leg. They push back to the lead. Now the score period. Back in to the third leg. One side, and the Grayscale's going to jump through. The Grayscales will fight through the final leg. They will beat the score period on their own game. A brilliant handoff on that top lane. They will take the gold medal in the relay.
Slow and steady wins the race. The Grayscales for the second straight heat. Slow off the gate, but claw it back in the end, and they will claim gold here in the relay race. Just sneaking past the Scorpions at the end, who had the racing command for almost the entire time, but just could not capitalize at the end. Grayscales get their second gold of the season, and they defeat the Scorpions here to triumph in the relay.
Been a bit bipolar for the Grayscales, but I'm sure they're ecstatic with that. Such an impressive performance throughout this whole event. Really, yeah, can't fault them in any way there. That final anchor leg, stealing it, just maybe taking some inspiration from the score periods.
See the podium here, the Laser Eyes getting the bronze, Scorpions, the silver, and the Grayscales. Gonna claw into that lead of the Time Watchers with this gold medal here, their second of the season.
It shouldn't go amiss as well. It was in fact the Grayscales who beat the Time Watchers in the heat, so not only are they pulling out the gold medal themselves, but they're also taking out the championship leaders, and now the gap closes just 20 points.
Starlights are also 24 points. The top three within a gold medal of each other. Next, we go to the uphill drag. Until next time,
Goodbye.